Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. I hope you watched the previous videos that we uploaded on our channel, which were more related towards understanding AI data, the job roles, and prompt engineering, some basic terminology, and we'll keep on uploading more videos which are related to the theory part of AI, machine learning, and data science. But side by side, we are also going to start with the practical implementation of it so that you guys can practice also in your free time and go parallel with the theory and the practical implementation. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to know when doing the practical implementation is that you need to load the data that you have for analysis or for building the model, for training the model, or for building an AI system. You need to load it into an interactive development environment or on a platform where you can start writing the code, okay, to get the meaning out of that data. Simply having an Excel file or a CSV file will not do nothing, right? And it's not easy to do very in-depth or very great analysis or build machine learning models with Excel or CSV files. Simply we need to put it into some platform, and then we need to start working on it. Okay, in the beginners phase, it's very difficult to choose the right platform and the right programming language as well. Most of the practical implementation that I'll be doing on this channel would be related to Python and a little bit of SQL in later stages, but we'll start with Python only. And the interactive development environment that I'm going to use and suggest for beginners is Google Colab. There are many reasons, and why I choose Google Colab over other platforms like Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm, etc. Google Colab is an interactive computing environment that allows you to write and execute code, visualize data, and perform various machine learning tasks as well. It has a lot of similarity with Jupyter Notebooks, but differs a lot in what Google Colab has to offer and what Jupyter Notebooks has to offer. So there are three primary reasons why I recommend Google Colab for the beginners. The very first reason is that you get free access to the GPUs and TPUs of Google. You don't need to depend on the configuration of the laptop or the computer system that you have for the processing speed and for the processing of the data. The second important reason is that it can integrate easily with Google Drive, so you can seamlessly, access the data that is available on Drive, load it into Google Colab, and then work on it. And also, automatically by default, what happens is every Google Colab notebook that you create, it gets saved on your Drive. So there is no point where you lose your data, and every change that you do, it gets automatically saved in real time. Also, you can share your files easily because the collab notebooks are there on the drive. Just like you share any other file from your Google Drive, you can simply add that person to that notebook, collab notebook, and then that can be shared easily. The third very important thing is for beginners. There are a lot of dependencies that you need to install when you want to start working with some programming language to do data analysis or machine learning or building any AI system or doing any data science task. So there are a lot of libraries, there are a lot of modules that you need to install. But with Google Colab, the advantage is that there are a lot of things pre-installed. You don't need to install them again and again. Okay, so these are the three basic advantages which I think are very big advantages for beginners because it reduces a lot of work at hand and you can focus on the things which are of most importance to you in the learning stage. All right, with that, we will cover two things in this video. One is how you can upload your data from your local machine. For example, you have a data set on your local system, that is either your laptop or your computer in your C drive or D drive or on your desktop, anywhere on your system. And from there, you can access that data into your Google Drive and then start doing the analysis on it. Second thing we'll be saying is how you can upload that file to Google Drive, or you have a data set already present on Google Drive, how you can access that into Google Colab and start working on it. So these are the two things which we will be primarily seeing in this video. Let's get started. To get started with Google Colab, you simply need to go to google.com and here you type Google Colab. Okay, so you'll get some such results like this. So the very first link, which is welcome to Collaboratory, it is a kind of documentation related to Google Colab, which you can go through in your free time to have a better understanding and familiarization of Google Colab. The second link is a link to the Google Colab Notebook platform. So you just need to click on this link and then it will open this kind of a website. And here you go and click on new notebook, or here you can click on new notebook. As soon as you click on the new notebook part, a new notebook will open. So it's loading. It takes some time in the very first thing. Okay, since my Google Colab account is already created with my Gmail ID, so it doesn't takes a lot of time, and it automatically takes me to an untitled 18 IP YNB file. But if you are new, you would need to create a Google Colab account using your Gmail ID, and then start working on this. Okay, so this is pretty simple how you can work with Google Colab, how you can set it up. Okay, you just need to go to collab.google straight away, or on google.com you can search for Google Colab. This is how you can come to Google Colab. Now let's come back to our two things that we want to do. The very first thing is uploading data from local machine. So I'm going to add a code block after this. Okay, here you have see two options in Google Colab. One is plus code, one is plus text. If you click on plus code, you add a code block here, and if you click on plus text, you add a text block. So I'll show you the difference between this is code block and this is the text block. So if you click on it, you can add any text, any kind of link to this uh, block, and it would appear something like this as it is appearing here, all the text that is appearing in this Google Colab file. Now in the code block, I am first of all going to import pandas as PD. So the pandas is a very famous library of Python which is used for working with data. So this is the very first code that line of code that I'm writing, and I'm going to import this library. Once I have imported, we will go to the files option in Google Colab, and from the files option we are going to click on this files, and from here we will go and select a dataset which is already there in our uh, local. Okay, like this is the air quality dataset. I'm going to use this one. So now you see this air quality CSV file is getting uploaded from the local machine to the Google Colab environment. So it will take some time. Let it upload, and here in the meantime I'll create a variable df which stands for data frame, or I can also write air quality because that is the name of the data set, is equal to pd dot data frame, because we are going to read the csv, pd dot read underscore csv, and in then we'll open parenthesis. Inside that we'll have single quotes, and here you can see three dots. Clicking on the three dots, we are going to copy the path of this data set in the local in the Google Colab, and here in between the two dots we'll paste this path. Okay, and then we are going to execute this code. Now what will happen is, in this variable air quality, this particular csv files content would be stored. Okay, now if we want to have a look at the dataset, we can simply put air quality. Just simply type air quality in the code block and it will give you a glimpse of the dataset. See this like this. These are the top 5 rows and these are the last 5 rows in the data. Okay. Now rows are actually the data points or the observations or the records which are present in the dataset. Okay, and this data set has a total of 16122 rows, that is 16122 observations or data points, and it has 12 columns. Columns are also sometimes referred to as variables because this is the value which keeps changing for every data point, so they are sometimes referred to as variables as well. So these are the columns or the variables, and this data set has 12 columns. Okay, now this is all. We have loaded the data into the Google Colab from local machine. Now coming to use case number 2, how to mount Google Drive and access data. Now we're going to add a code block, and here what we are simply going to do is we are going to click on this mount drive option. When you click on the mount drive option, it asks you permission to connect to Google Drive. Okay, so you need to connect your Google Drive, which is from the same Gmail ID. It will ask you permission. for that also. Mounting Google Drive. Okay, so here you see the drive has come. Okay, a folder name drive has come. When you expand it, you will see all the contents that are there in your drive, and from there you can choose whatever file you want. For example, I have a lot of data sets on this particular drive of mine. So I am going to use this data set, which is news head train.json. No, I am going to show you with a CSV file only, because most of the time we use a CSV file only. Yeah, so here you see there's a train CSV file in CNN Daily Mail folder. So I'm going to again copy the path in the same way by clicking on the three dots. And here I'm going to create a variable CNN Daily Mail. You can create you can take any name for the variable, but I usually take the name of the data set only, so that it is easy to remember which variable belongs to which file. Okay, and then we are going to see the data by writing the variable again in another code block. So this must be a heavy data set, that is why it is taking a lot of time to read. And this is majorly a textual kind of a data, as the name suggests. So it will take some time to read. So this is basically how you connect your Google Drive and access the data. You can simply do it in the same way. Okay, so the data has come. Okay, it has three columns: ID, article, and highlights. These columns are also known as variables, as I told you previously, and it has a total of 287,113 rows. Okay, that's a very massive and huge data set. So actually this data set has the article and the highlights of that article. These are news articles from CNN Daily Mail and Daily Mail websites, and then the highlights of these articles. So how we use that data set, that's a different question, and we'll be covering it in future videos. But right now the purpose was to demonstrate how you can load that data from Google Drive and how you can load it from your local system. So I hope you must have got a fair idea, and that's it for this video, and stay tuned until we create a new video. So I'm going to show you how we write thank you in the text block, so that you can also get an idea of the text block. See, like this: thank you.